Dad, isn't it time for illegal ham in the face? But bro, where's the banjo?
Some Cleveland sports shows try to give you hot takes, but only one can give you a big old piece of hot ham. Welcome to Illegal Ham to the Face. Talking all Cleveland sports. And don't forget our Fat Boy Tuesday, where we also ham it up with some fun food topics. Without further ado, let's serve up some ham. Here are the Ham Boys, Fatty, and Big Bry.
But Dad,
What is going on, everybody? Welcome in on this beautiful Tuesday here in Cleveland. Welcome on into Illegal Ham to the Face. I am that fat guy. He is Big Bry. Big Bry, how you feeling, buddy?
I'm getting there. I'm back. I'm probably 95% or so back, so I'm feeling good. Just in
Good.
time for the good weather.
I got to thank Justin for sitting in the hot seat while you were
Yes,
gone.
absolutely. Thank
Hey,
you.
man, we talked a little LeBron. We talked a little bit of everything. Then we got off topic. So that kind of happens with our show sometimes. Tonight, though, we are about to have, Brad, we're going to have an epic one tonight. It's not that often that we get to talk about Super Bowl winning quarterbacks coming to Cleveland.
Right.
Also, we were talking about Myles Garrett backtracking a little bit, doing a little moonwalk back to the Browns. Talk the rumors of Kirk Cousins that came out today. Also, we are going to talk a little bit of Cavs. It is Bry's turn for trivia tonight, which is brought to you by City Dogs Cleveland. Our show is brought to you by Hero Q and Lake Area APA. But Fat Boy Tuesday tonight is going to be a gem as we talk. Bry, let's just say it. We talk tiny foods tonight. We are talking mini foods. We are talking hors d'oeuvres. We are talking tiny foods tonight because of a certain person that has just showed up here in Cleveland. Oh, good God, Bri, I still can't believe it. I'm still in shock. Bri, my phone was blowing up yesterday from everybody just with that news that came out, but we'll get into it here in a little bit. I do want to thank everybody that showed up to Puck for Paws this weekend. Bri, they had a great turnout. Whole bunch of people. Brian, there was tickets available at the door, $10 tickets. Third level, sit there, watch a hockey game, just enjoy it. But a lot of people turned out. If you want to see the pictures from the game and everybody that came to see the dogs, go to City Dogs Cleveland on their Facebook page and Instagram. They have a whole bunch of pictures up. The mascot was there. They brought about 5 dogs with them, showed them off. So I want to thank them. Thank everybody that came out and supported them. All right, Bri. The only shout out I got is Justin for sitting in the hot seat. It was awesome talking with him, talking some good food, talking donuts and potskis with him.
Yeah.
You missed the Fat Tuesday. I mean, hold on before we move any further. Mr. Big Bri, what did you give up for Lent this year?
Well, the list is long this year, my friend. Considering the New Year's resolution has fallen kind of stale, I've got to get back on the horse. So yeah, lots fast food, any food from a gas station or convenience store, pizza, ice cream, fried foods. So I think that about covers it.
Bri.
Yeah. Yep. Got to clean it up a little bit here.
All right, you going to be able to do that? Because I know you found loopholes last time. We've talked about those loopholes with the cheesy bread and then the marinara Dunkin' in. And I still think it's considered pizza, but, you call it cheese breadsticks.
That's what it is. That's what when I really have a hankering, and I have a weak moment. I've done that before. I don't do it often, but yeah, that's a loophole, breadstick. Like I went to Olive Garden on Saturday, wife and I, and had some of their breadsticks, and got spaghetti, and was dunking the breadstick in the marinara sauce. Is that pizza?
No, because there's no cheese with it.
There's shredded cheese on the spaghetti.
See, now, Brian, we've talked about this. The only reason why I got upset with you about it is because it was in a form of a pizza. It wasn't legit breadsticks. Okay. If it was just legit breadsticks, it's fine. It was a pizza shaped cheese loaf that you got, and then you dunked it in marinara sauce. It wasn't like you just got the little breadstick. It was a pizza shaped that you dunked in marinara sauce. That's where I kind of
So the shape has something to do with it too.
That's where the gray line is, right there, Bry. There's a gray area. All right.
If it was triangle, it would be okay.
No, it's still not okay. No, it's all right. No, I get it. Well, I mean, Bud, good for you. I am glad you're doing that.
So far, so good.
Continue your journey for the next couple weeks or a few weeks and see how you're doing. By the way, I found out today, I didn't even realize it. Easter falls on my anniversary. Can't wait for that.
Nice.
So,
yeah, it's late this year.
Yeah, it's really. Hey, Spring Forward was early. By the way, if you didn't change your time.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I just couldn't believe it when my wife was talking about, it's this weekend. I'm like, no way, get out of here.
We're mowing grass.
I'll take it. I believe it. Yeah, I believe it. That's awesome. Yeah, I'll take it all day.
I couldn't believe it. I'm like, it's a little early, guys, isn't it? They're like, we're going. I'm like, okay, here we go.
No way. Yeah, it's a beautiful week.
Oh,
73.
Damn you, Evo. Okay, Evo's in here from Alignment Lounge. You want to talk about gray lines? Talk about you have a Super Bowl winning quarterback who's now probably your starter. Damn it, Evo.
Is he a Steelers fan?
No, he is a Vikings fan.
Oh, Vikings fan. Okay.
He's just upset that Sam Darnold left and every other quarterback on the Vikings left except JJ McCarthy.
Hey, don't get it twisted. I don't think either one of us are happy about Kenny Pickett here. My stance on Kenny Pickett has not changed depending on what jersey he wears. So he's still garbage.
Mike says he loves him bringing it up. And if you want to see a clip, go see their clip. Evo just trolled Mike and Bry. It was like the troll job of all troll jobs. He goes, "You got to be happy. You got a super winning quarterback," and you just see Mike's face go like this, and just. Justin said you're all right with a round cheese breadstick. So I guess
Justin.
shapes does matter.
Yeah, right. Thank you.
All right, Brian. Well, let's get into our show. Do you have any shout outs, buddy? It's been 2 weeks since you've been on. You got anybody you want to talk about?
Yeah, the only shout outs I have were birthday shout outs. One you were talking about earlier, Big Boy Phillips had a birthday a couple days ago, and he shares a birthday with my cousin Chris. So nice. Cousin Chris lives out in Minnesota. Shout out to those two. Another trip around the sun. Well done.
Justin said at least he's not Aaron Rodgers, who's going to be a Steeler. Jesus God. Talk about QB purgatory over there, Brian.
Ugly quarterback landscape right now.
Not good. We'll dive into it here in a little bit. But first, we have to do our trivia, which is brought to you by City Dogs Cleveland. Bri, I did reach out to Beth, our wonderful, wonderful person at City Dogs Cleveland. She hooks us up with a lot of stuff and a lot of news. Bri, the next event that's going down will be in, I believe, June. I think it's June 8th is the City Dogs 5K. All right. They got a 5K going on. Go to their Facebook page, City Dogs Cleveland. You can go there, see everything that's going on. You can sign up, join the event, everything that's going on. So please go do that. Also, Bri, she did inform me that Inya is the one dog that we have had on here for the past few weeks, still needs a loving home. So please, if you can go adopt her, please go adopt her. She had some heartworm disease or giving her some medicine, getting her all back on health. She is a great loving pup. Look at that face. I can't say enough about what the great people at City Dogs Cleveland do, and especially the friends of City Dogs Cleveland that volunteer. And Brian, like we always say on our show, if you cannot adopt, please volunteer, donate, do whatever you can to help out a city dog. Like everybody that went out Saturday for a hockey game, you helped out a city dog, and we cannot thank you enough. All right, Bri, it's been a while since I played this sounder. You ready?
Bring it.
Oh my God, my phone's still blowing up about the news. All right, Brian, it is your turn for trivia tonight. I hope you have a gym because I am excited to do trivia again. We did not do it last week. So, Bri, what do you got for me this week?
Well, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention you showing the puppies. I kind of forgot one of my shout outs. Just squeeze it in here quickly. 2 weekends ago, we did the Medina Home and Garden Show for Lily's Lemonade, and we gave a portion of the sales. Last weekend, we went to the Medina SPCA. So, we love city dogs, and anybody who's near to Cleveland at all should absolutely go check them out. But if it's a bit of a hike for you and you're looking for something a little bit closer, Medina SPCA is right southern part of Medina County. It's very close to Route 3, 71, 224, 76. All the highways are kind of right there, so it wouldn't be far for people from Akron to go to Worcester, anyone south of there. So a lot of great shelters in the area. Always try to funnel people to the real good ones. So certainly City Dogs, Medina SPCA are two of the real good ones. So anyways, that's what I got. So I got football trivia for you.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, I'm not sure. I had to go back in the archives a little bit, so I don't think I've asked you this before, but I kind of got it a couple months ago. Since 2000, what player has the most touchdowns in the NFL? Non-quarterbacks, not counting passing or rushing, receiving, basically.
Since 2000.
Since 2000, last 25 years. And if that's too easy, there are three active guys on this list. So if you get that one.
Easy. Now, hold on. Is number 1 still active?
Nope, not active.
Not active. Okay. Since 2000. All right. I might need a hint later, but I have an idea.
Sure.
I have an idea where I'm going with this because it's not quarterback. It is a position player.
You got it.
Okay.
It's a running back or receiver. I'll eliminate tight ends for you.
All right, Brian. Well, buddy, you ready to talk some craziness? Here we go. All right, Bri. We're going to talk Browns right out of the gate because it is free agency season. We didn't get to talk it last week. We talked a little bit with Justin, but Bri, somebody moonwalked back, decided, hey, guess what? It is all about the money, and I'm going to take my $40 million a year and come back to the Browns. Myles Garrett re-signed. Extension, we got him locked up till, was it 2030, I think it is? Something of that nature. $40 million a year. He is the highest paid defensive player, actually non-quarterback, I believe. He's the highest paid non-quarterback in
by a wide margin
right now. By a wide margin. Bri, the only problem I have with this, and you and I talked off air before we brought this on here, is what I didn't like about this whole situation. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm happy Myles is back. It's nice signing one of your own to stay here and everything else. But just a little pump the brakes a second. Myles, you took a shot at the GM. It's not about going from Cleveland to Canton. It's about winning Super Bowls. It's about doing this. It's about doing this. Cleveland's not there. We're not there yet. I want to be out. I want to go contend for something. And then next thing you know, a big truckload of cash comes up and goes, all right, I guess I'll play for you guys. That's fine. So, Brian, it is all about the money. We know this because it is the NFL, but don't come out here and say it's not all about the money and it's about Super Bowl rings and everything else, because let's just say it's all about the money. The only reason why he's back is because, one, they must have gone behind the scenes, Brian, and talked about something, because everybody was digging their feet in, as in, hey, Myles, I want to talk to Jimmy. Bring Jimmy down. Jimmy goes, no, you're talking to Andrew. Brian, there were so many pieces moving with all this, and next thing you know, We get Myles Garrett back. Brian, I know you're excited to have Myles back, but how did you feel about the whole situation of like, I want to go play for Super Bowls, and now backtracking, it's all about the money. How did you feel about all that?
I was frankly shocked that we signed him. I thought maybe this bridge was burnt too far, that we couldn't get him back, and I believe Myles when he said it was all about winning championships and playing on the big stage, and he just didn't think that could happen in Cleveland. And I think honestly, deep down, I believe that Myles had a change of heart. I don't think it was all about the money this whole time. I think he was genuine in saying that he wanted to play on a better team, on a team that had a brighter future. But I think something changed. He penned this letter a month ago. So it was only 4 weeks ago that he penned this letter that's basically stating, I can't be a Cleveland Brown anymore. And so something in the last 4 weeks has changed. Maybe in the last week has changed because he's been pretty steadfast over the last month that he just wants to play for a winner. So I think the Browns sat him down. Andrew Berry sat him down, and they told him, like, I think they showed him the numbers. Like, Myles, we can't trade you because it's going to cost us so much against our cap just to get rid of you that it's going to be really hard for us to field a team. And they just kept telling him that. And, as much as they might have even said, like, Myles, we want to trade you. We want to do right by you, but there's just no way we can because of all these numbers, because of the financials. And so I think Myles maybe started to realize that now. Why he wouldn't just play out his next 2 years and then go into free agency after that I don't know. But obviously something has changed. I still am not 100% sure that I think it's good for the Browns organization to have Myles Garrett. Is it good for the Browns football team? I don't know. You're going to have I kind of think of this contract almost in baseball terms like the Miguel Cabrera contract. Like, you're going to have him for his prime, but you're also going to have him for a couple years at the end of his career where he's not even worth half of the contract that we're giving him. But I knew all along in my head, I thought, well, the Browns are probably going to have to overpay for him. They're probably going to have to give him a year or two more than what he's really deserving. So in my mind, I always thought $40 million for 4 years would be what it takes to get it done. And that's what it ended up being. Now, the people that want to say we're way overpaying for him, so we still have him for the next 2 years at $25 million. So this $40 million salary doesn't kick in until 2027. So I think he never plays a game as the highest paid non-quarterback. I think by the time 2 years rolls around, there's going to be 2, 3, maybe 4 guys that are making more money than him. So, he's a physical freak. I can't say for certain that he's just going to be washed up when he's 33 years old or something. He might very well prove me wrong. But certainly the numbers in the past history will tell you that, 31, 32 after that, it's hard to really be the number one guy at your position in the NFL. It's good to have him back. Like I said, it's good for the franchise because he's your best defensive player in the history of the Browns. And so to not lose him, to not have the egg on your face of him, going somewhere else and playing really well and winning a Super Bowl. And it's just the one thing that kind of really sticks in my craw is just the way the national media is handling it. Like before,
even as recently as Friday, they're talking about Myles Garrett, and there are a couple guys that said he's the best player in the NFL. Myles Garrett is the best football player in the NFL. And now come Monday, he's still on the Browns. oh, that's no big deal. It was like this fifth or sixth story. They're talking about the Steelers all morning long. And I'm sick of them just crapping on the Browns. So it really became another opportunity for the national media to talk about how terrible Cleveland is, how terrible the Browns are, and they were upset at Miles really because they felt like they were duped because they were hyping Miles up as being this great player and going somewhere else and being an exciting story going forward, and then he just goes back to the Browns. So they were almost like upset with him. So would have been better for the Browns to trade him, get a couple first round picks, and kind of kickstart this rebuild. Right now, I kind of am thinking that way, but time would tell. You blow those 2 draft picks, you're like, man, I wish we had Myles Garrett. It's the bird in the hand versus 2 in the bush. It's do you want the all-star Hall of Fame guy who is going to be a stud for the next couple years at least, or do you want the prospect of paying, small salaries to some young talent and hoping that they can become something? I don't know.
Well, Bri-
I guess we'll see.
What I feel really bad about, Bri, is this is almost Joe Thomas-esque. This is going to be Joe Bitonio-esque, as in they stuck with the franchise that drafted them throughout their entire career. They come back, and Bri, what does Myles Garrett being the highest paid defensive player get you? Bri, let's be honest. He gets you maybe 1 win or 2. It's a quarterback-driven league. You need a quarterback. Guess what, Bri? We still don't have a quarterback. So you're going from 3 and 14 or whatever the hell we were this year. Now we're going to be what? Maybe 5 or 6 wins? Whoop-de-doo. What's that going to get us? We're going to be back in purgatory. You're going to have one of the best players ever in the NFL at his position playing, and he's not going to win anything, Bri. He's been to the playoffs, once or twice? That's it? Same with Joe Thomas, once. Like, it's not good, man. It feels shitty as a Browns fan that we got to talk about this. Like, I'm glad we signed him for a whole bunch of money, but everything okay?
Keep going. Yep.
I mean, I'm glad we signed him. I'm glad he's back. I just never thought it was going to happen this way. And like I said earlier, don't go out there and parade that it's about a Super Bowl. It's about all this, because obviously at the end of the day, it's about money. And Myles Garrett, you got paid. The Browns paid you handsomely. You're going to be here. I appreciate the athletic freak that you are. But at the point in time, you did a media row blitz during the Super Bowl. You want any show that you could go on saying it's not about this, it's about this. Just be honest with everybody. I think that's the big thing that I think fans and everybody else wants, is just be honest. What changed? What changed your mind to sign this contract? Was it the money? Did you guys have a conversation backstage saying, hey, I can't trade you. It's going to kill us in the salary cap, this, and this. If we do this, it might be a better offer down the road. These are the conversations that we don't know, that we don't hear, because we have nobody in the building, and we are hearing it from Browns beat reporters. We're hearing it from media. We're hearing it from national media, and it's great that we hear it. But we just want one person to come out and be like, all right, be honest. What was the conversation? What changed? If you had to ask Myles Garrett one question, I would ask him, what changed? What changed in the amount of time where you were completely out on this team because they were not a contender, to you coming back knowing they're not a contender and going, okay, it's okay, you're not a contender and I get money? Where was the overlap? What changed with that? Bri will be back here in a little bit. Let's roll over. We'll get off to Myles Garrett. Justin brought up a great thing. They told him they were going to have a Super Bowl winning quarterback. That's right, Cleveland fans. We traded DTR and a 5th round pick for Kenny Baby Hands Pickett. Jesus God, what were we thinking? I don't understand this move, because if you're going to trade DTR for Kenny Pickett, I get it. Get it. But now you're throwing in a 5th round pick. I'm not saying a 5th round pick's going to hit or anything else, but now you're getting a 5th round pick for a guy that still has measurable hands, a guy that still has a meme out there where he can't hold on to the ball as he's throwing it and fumbles it everywhere. And then people are coming out like, well, he's going to be a 3rd string. Well, why would you trade a damn draft pick for a 3rd string quarterback? You could have got one in the draft. Like, what are we doing? Is it because Kevin Stefanski think he can magically change Kenny Pickett? Because I don't think so. Bri, everything all right, brother?
Yeah, we're just looking for a baby monitor.
Oh, boy. That's not good.
Turn up somewhere, though.
All right. I segued over into Kenny Pickett because Justin said they told Myles Garrett they're trading him for a Super Bowl winning quarterback. And the one gif that I laughed at the entire time, there was a goat, okay? You know, like the big fire-burning ovens they have that they cook like pizzas and stuff in? It was like, this is Myles Garrett once they told him it's a Super winning quarterback and he found out it was Kenny Pickett. And the goat just walks right into the fire oven. They pull him out. He walks right back into it again. They pull him out. 3rd time, walks right back into it again. Brian, I brought up, well, I don't know if you heard me as I was talking about it, but I'm all right with moving on from DTR. And if you want to try to take a flyer on Kenny Pickett, that's fine. But you gave up a 5th round draft pick. And I know the draft pick wasn't yours. It was Detroit's draft pick. I get that. But you still gave up a draft pick for supposedly a guy that's going to be a 3rd string quarterback on your team, Bri. You could have got that in the draft.
Yeah.
How do you feel about baby hands?
I was just as upset as you were. I mean, not upset because I don't think he's going to have a huge role in this team, but it's a huge head scratcher. Like, I mean, as fans, I guess the fans are a little biased because he did play for Pittsburgh, and you know we enjoyed just trolling all the Steelers fans that were saying that he was good. But yeah, one thing it tells me is they were absolutely done with DTR, so much so that they were willing to give up a draft pick just to get rid of him. So as bad as we think Kenny Pickett is, they think DTR is even worse. Because it wasn't a 1-for-1 trade. We had to give him a little extra to get him. And I think part of that is because he was a 1st-round pick. And, you know, some people still believe in him, even though it's only a couple years removed from him coming out in the draft. But, yeah, for me, after thinking about it and chewing on it for about a day or so, I think it's like an insurance plan, like an ultra insurance plan, like just in case – we can't get the quarterback we want in the draft, and just in case Kirk Cousins isn't made available by the Falcons, let's say they hang on to him. You know, we need something. We have to go somewhere, and they thought Kenny Pickett is a better option than DTR. So even though you know it makes all the fans want to puke, this is the break glass in case of emergency plan. Is to have Kenny Pickett. And so, you know, we all think that they'll sign a different veteran quarterback that's going to be like our number 1 or maybe our number 2. And then if our favorite guy falls to us at number 2 in the draft or in the 2nd round, we trade up or something, you know, Kenny Pickett will be our 3rd option. But as of now, he's our 1st option. And eventually he'll be our 2nd. And I think if everything goes right, he'll be our 3rd.
Like there is like 20 other options that I would honestly, I would just look at the running back room and be like, guess what? We're playing wishbone. We're playing triple option. I don't need you to throw the ball. I would do anything other than bring that kid in here. And it's not that because Pittsburgh drafted him. It's not the fact, like Brian, I just wasn't a fan of him at Pitt. I wasn't a fan of him at Pittsburgh. I wasn't a fan of him at Philly. Like he got drafted in the 1st round because he played at Pitt and it was Pittsburgh. And they tried to do a little PR move because Big Ben was leaving. Let's be honest. That's the reason why he was drafted. Nobody had him as a first round grade. Nobody, right? Nobody had him as a first round grade. They were talking about him going late second into the third round. But yep, Pittsburgh's right there. It's like, hey, it's a hometown kid. Played for Pitt. Let's bring him in here because old man can't do it anymore. And we already see what Mason Rudolph and everybody else could do. But, Brian, there are so many other ones. Brian, what's crazy right now is a free agency quarterback carousel. Geno Smith now in Las Vegas. Sam Darnold out in Seattle. You got, what was it? Good God, the other Minnesota Viking. Nick Mullins is down in Tampa, I think, or Carolina or Jacksonville.
Daniel Dimes went to Indy. I know. I heard today.
Okay, connect right here. You're all tripping too hard on Kenny Pickett. He's a third option only. So stop worrying. And I get that. Everybody says we're going to pick up a vet and sometime at the draft. But right now, this is the move that you made. Deshaun's not playing, okay? So the only person in your quarterback room right now is Kenny fucking Pickett. That's it. That's the only person. We did get news. Oh, yeah, Fields to the Jets. That was another one. They're talking about Rodgers to the Steelers. Like, it's of course, but the other thing is Zach Jackson today. And Brian, I don't know if you heard it on one of our favorite shows, the Ken Carmen Show with Anthony Lima. Zach Jackson's on there, who is from The Athletic, said, hey, they're going to have Kirk Cousins by this weekend. So I put out there, I'm like, what does that do for you? It's Kirk Cousins, who is also another journeyman, who got paid a shit ton of money to play down in Atlanta, who did not do good. Coming off his second year for his Achilles, Brian, what is he, 38, 39, I believe?
I don't know. He's above 35. I was going to say 36 or 37, but I don't know. Well, he was drafted in 2012 with RG3.
And here we go. Here's another one. But you know A.B. Cooks. You don't know until you know what they're doing. Yeah, A.B. Cooks, really good until he gets to start drafting people because he hasn't hit on a first-round draft pick in a very long time. And now we trust this guy with a second pick?
Yeah, it's, I understand. This is the news that we have to react to right now is Kenny Pickett. And so, yeah, it's going to be, the house is burning. Like he said, Kenny Pickett might be an afterthought in 2 weeks, 3 weeks or whatever after the draft. We might not even, oh, that's right. I forgot we have Kenny Pickett on the roster. And so, if all goes planned as well, I think that's going to be the case. This is just, if nothing goes our way, this is what we're stuck with. And so, I don't think it's time to start screaming and crying from the mountaintops that, oh my God, Kenny Pickett's our starting quarterback. What are we going to do? I think, he's not going to be anybody we're counting on to play significant time this year unless 2 or 3 guys get hurt. So, we'll probably stash this show deep down and not talk about, realize that we're overreacting. But, it's the reality of the situation now is you got a lot of eggs in the Kirk Cousins basket. Like, what are you going to do if Kirk Cousins does not become available? Then you're screwed. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Because everything that I've heard over the last week or two is Cam Ward is going number 1. Cam Ward's going number 1, and it seems like a lot of people are starting to tell you that there's a big gap between Cam Ward at 1 and Shedeur Sanders as number 2. So do you draft Shedeur Sanders at 2 still just because he plays quarterback?
People said it today
because on all the free agent quarterbacks. I don't know. This is
I know.
I think they're just preparing themselves that okay, we think Kirk Cousins is going to become available. We hope that Cam Ward falls to us at 2, but in case this stuff doesn't happen, we have to have somebody playing quarterback that hopefully has starting NFL experience. We saw a few years ago what happens when you have Brock Osweiler and Deshaun Kaiser and Cody Kessler is your starting quarterback room.
Hey, baby hands and baby carrots. Let's go.
Yeah. So, it's just funny how people have all these high hopes that before all the bullets start flying and like, oh, we're going to be fine. And then we get to free agency and we kind of find out that it's going kind of how I thought it was going to go. I didn't think we were going to sign Sam Darnold.
No, God, no,
like
no. I
that.
didn't think that either. But like, I didn't think Kenny Pickett of all people.
No, I didn't think Kenny Pickett
Like,
either.
you know,
but
like-
I thought Kirk Cousins. And like,
Yeah,
now that it's looking like reality staring you in the face, people are freaking out that like Kirk Cousins is like your best option. Let's not forget 1 year ago, Atlanta Falcons gave Kirk Cousins a ton of money, which means they thought he was worth that. So he had what some people might call an injury-riddled season, to where he's telling you that he hurt his shoulder, and it's almost like the Browns fans
right. I hear you
want
say that.
what they can't have. Like I'll say it again, he beat Baker Mayfield twice. He was 2-0 against Baker Mayfield this year, and then he supposedly got hurt, and he started playing really crappy, and so because of that, he's available to us now. So I still think he's got something left in the tank. I understand he's not 25-year-old, quarterback with high upside, but he's probably your best option at this point.
Well, Brian, I do have some breaking news for you. Per Adam Schefter, the Browns have signed and reached an agreement to a 1-year, $3.25 million deal for Devin Bush. He's coming back to be a Brown, Bri. Thank God we got Devin Bush coming back.
So I was hoping you were going to say Nick Chubb. What are your thoughts on Nick Chubb?
Bri, I think they're going to let that running back market play out because this draft is riddled with great running backs. And I mean riddled with great running backs. And I believe that, not saying that Nick Chubb cannot be a number one anymore, but I think they're going, let's see what the market is out there. Let's see if somebody does try to sign him. Bri, I've been wrong. I was wrong about Myles Garrett coming back. I never thought he'd play another snap for the Cleveland Browns. Guess what? They signed him to a contract. Right now, I think that Nick Chubb will never play again for the Cleveland Browns. So I'm just go ahead and say it. So they re-sign him back because that seems to be the trend right now. But, Bri, I really do think that this might be I think they're going to draft a running back in this draft and kind of play it out from there because I know they're okay with Jerome Ford. But, Bri, let's be honest, they need a home run hitter. And there is probably, God, dare I say 15 of them in this draft that if you get them just right, it is a very running back heavy draft. But the great thing is, though, is Saquon Barkley just showed you, Bri, the pendulum swinging back to running backs. All this time we were paying wide receivers and tight ends and everything else. And now people are starting to realize that running backs are pretty important too now. And a lot of people, yeah. Okay, I heard that on Chubb, they had him cut to some contract clause that will allow him to re-sign at $3 million only after he hit free agency. Well, I mean, it's still, I think they're going to let him test the waters and see where the market is at for him first to see how they want to play this out. I would love to see him retire as a Cleveland Brown. I think he deserves to retire as a Cleveland Brown. But, Bri, he is not our number one anymore. He started picking up the steam last year, but he's going to have to start splitting time with another guy. And what better guy, what better veteran to have if you bring in a rookie than Nick Chubb right there beside him teaching this kid? I would love to see it. I would love to see it, but I don't know if it will happen. Yeah.
I still hold out hope.
I do too.
I think, everyone reacted when they said we're going to let him hit free agency. They reacted like the Browns just cut Nick Chubb. And
that's what it felt like.
Guys go out and test free agency and then come back to their team all the time. So I think that's basically what they're doing. They're letting him go out and test free agency. Maybe it is a Joe Thomas situation to where they're like, hey, Nick, you've been so good to us. We want you to, if you want to leave and go try to win a championship, we don't want to hold you up from doing that. But so if you want to go test the waters, come back, and then before you make a final decision, we'll have a discussion. And so I think absolutely you can bring a Nick Chubb back and still draft a running back. Like you said, it's a very deep running back draft. So, probably we would be wise to draft one in like the 3rd or 4th round or something like that. Have Nick Chubb. Jerome Ford, I think, is your home run hitter that you're looking for. He's done it time and time again. He doesn't maybe have the 40 time that some of these other guys do, but I think he's a great change of pace back, even though he doesn't necessarily catch the ball out of the backfield super well. But yeah, I think Nick Chubb, Jerome Ford, and a rookie, I think that's a pretty good threesome right there. And I think the days of Nick Chubb being your bell cow back and giving him 20 carries a game, I think are probably over with. But like I said, I think Nick Chubb coming off that devastating injury, I think that offense that we had called for him last year, and just our offensive line being shuffled around, having injury after injury after injury, never really playing together. I think all that factors in to why he didn't look very good last year. And so I really, especially if it's going to be for, you say Devin Bush just signed for $3 million, if you can sign Nick Chubb 1 year for $5 million, that does a world of good for this organization and for this fan base. I don't know why they wouldn't even do it.
Well, I know one reason. They don't have the money because they're still paying some dumbass that they can guarantee $230 million.
They got $5 million. If they're signing some dude
I know, Brian,
as defensive end, and they're signing Devin Bush for $3 million, they can find enough money for Nick Chubb.
They did release Tomlinson.
Right.
We did get that news today. That's Brian. I believe that's kind of a big blow for your defensive tackles, but that means that Mike Hall Jr. is going to have to step up. And they're probably going to be looking for a defensive tackle in the draft again.
Sure.
So, Brian, there's one name, and I know you're probably not going to like this because I am an Ohio State homer, and I am, but there's one name at 32 that I would love for the Browns to pick, and that'd be TreVeyon Henderson.
I like TreVeyon Henderson. I'm not a hater.
His
Ohio State days are done.
Well, that is a pass out of the backfield and catch out of the backfield. You saw what he could do if he gets in the open field. If he gets a hole, Brian, he's a home run hitter if he can get it. And I like it. I think it would be great for the Browns if they could get him at 32. Maybe even if they use the other 3rd round picks that they got to kind of bump up later, maybe later in the 2nd round, he's still there. I don't think he will be. I think he's going to go late 1st round and probably early 2nd round into middle 2nd round, especially with what his skill set is. But I would love to see TreVeyon Henderson in this backfield. And if you get Nick Chubb with TreVeyon Henderson and Jerome Ford, be a nice little 3-headed monster you got there.
I don't have an issue with TreVeyon Henderson at all. The only issue I would have would be drafting him at 33, because you're probably right. He probably won't last to our pick in the 3rd round. But you said it before. It's such a deep running back draft for us to use essentially a back end of the 1st round pick on a running back when you just need so much. And you can get a running back later in the draft that's almost as good as TreVeyon Henderson. I would think that would maybe be a smarter choice. But I understand, TreVeyon Henderson's a heck of a player. So yeah, the temptation is going to be there.
Another thing I want to bring up to you before we switch over to a little guards, little Cavs talk before you get into Fat Boy Tuesday. It's going to be quick guards and Cavs talk. Brian, if they do get Kirk Cousins, because, Zach Jackson was almost guaranteeing that he will be a Cleveland Brown by next week. If that should happen, Brian, Are you still taking a quarterback at number 2? If Cam Ward is not there, are you still taking a quarterback at number 2? Are you moving down and getting a quarterback later on?
Yeah, I think where I'm at now, and it's changed. We've said before that kind of both of us preferred Shedeur Sanders, even though it was early, just because of his his pocket presence and his ability to deliver an accurate ball and play in a system. Well, everything we've been told over the last couple weeks since the combine is there's one guy who's worthy of even a first-round draft pick at quarterback, and that's Cam Ward. So
yeah,
Cam Ward goes 1. I think the Browns are stuck. I think you could take Shedeur Sanders, but a lot of people are going to see that as a giant reach, and you don't know how the Browns feel about it. Sounds like there are a lot of teams that were rubbed the wrong way by Shedeur Sanders. Like he just really didn't care what these other teams thought of him, and he was just going in there and kind of, I'm going to do me. I don't, either you like me or don't. Hey, and let's not forget that there's also a factor of, will his father let him play for the Cleveland Browns? That's something we'll never know. He might have told him 2 months ago, and my son's not going to play for the Browns ever. He's just not publicly saying it. So he might be off their board altogether. So yeah, I think probably Cam Ward, it sounds like, is the worthy guy, the worthy quarterback at 2. And then after that, maybe Shedeur Sanders and Jackson Dart might be in play at the end of the first or the beginning of the second. And then, if both those guys are gone by the time you get there, then now you're looking at drafting a guy in the 3rd round. And so I think that's what picking up Kenny Pickett kind of gives you some flexibility. If you get Kirk Cousins, he's your starter. Kenny Pickett, yes, he can be a backup in the NFL. We just saw it. He was on a Super Bowl winning team. So he can be a backup. So you have a starter and a backup. You don't necessarily have to draft a quarterback in the first 2 rounds, even the first 3 rounds. So that's what, especially it kind of opened my eyes. The fact that they were giving up a draft pick for Kenny Pickett lets me know they're not just going to throw this guy to the side come training camp. So they're committed to him a little bit. So I think, they might not draft the quarterback in the first 3 rounds. Maybe go to 4th or 5th round before they get one, which is crazy to say. But it's just, it's what we've heard all along. This isn't a great quarterback draft. So there's maybe, as we're finding out, there's one guy that you want, and you might not get a chance to get him.
Well, if it's the one guy you want, Bry, then jump up to 1 and get him. If that's the one guy you want.
Are you giving up 33 to do it?
Bry, whatever you got to do. If that's the guy you want, if that's the guy that you deem as your guy, jump up and get him. Because you're right there at 2, moving up to 1. But that is if Tennessee wants to do it.
Right.
And that's the thing. Sleeveless Mike is in here. He said, damn you, Evo, and damn Kenny Pickett. All right, Bry, so let's get into some guards news, Bry. We'll pick this conversation up next week because we're going to have a lot of Browns talk right before the draft, and there's still going to be free agency going on. So there's going to be a lot of stuff. We'll dive in more in free agency next week. Bry, the Cleveland Guardians have signed a fan favorite back, but signed him as a pitcher, Bry. Taylor Naquin was signed back as a pitcher. I have heard that he has a 94 to 97 mile an hour fastball, a changeup, and a cutter. They're trying him out now in the Cactus League and everything else. Bry, how do you feel about Tyler Naquin coming back as a pitcher for your Cleveland Guardians?
Chalk it up to another bizarre Cleveland sports headline this past week. Yeah,
I know, right?
I heard Tyler Naquin's name, and then I heard pitcher. And I was like, no, I couldn't have heard that correctly. And then I heard it a couple more times, and it reminded me of I think the Cardinals had a guy. Do you remember the name Rick Ankiel?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do.
I can't remember if he went from pitcher to center field or center field to pitcher.
I think he did both at one time.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, did he start as a pitcher and then go to center field? He started as a center fielder and then become a pitcher.
I think he went to center field and came in as a pitcher. I think. I'll have to look it up. I'm not 100% sure. So, hey, anybody watching this show, do not come at me saying the fat guy messed up again and he doesn't know what he's talking about. Maybe they can help out. If you guys can find it, put it in the comments here. But no, I started laughing when I heard that. I'm like, come on, Tyler Naquin. But, man, anybody that hits 97 on the radar gun,
sure,
right? I can't throw 97 anymore. I don't know if I ever could. I might got a good 77.
I'm willing to bet you couldn't. Probably sure you couldn't throw a 77.
Back in my younger days, I could get up there. But 97, that's a rotator cuff now, Bri. That's me. That's me out of work for at least 4 weeks.
Not worth it. No,
All right.
So what are we doing with them? What's the record now? Or is anybody paying attention to? I'm not. I'll be the first one to tell you.
I'm locked in on the Cavs right now. I'm locked in on the Cavs right now. I'm not watching spring training. Justin said you could throw 97 hamburgers down. I can do White Castle sliders, and I can do probably about 30 of them, but not 97. I don't know what I could do 97 of. Maybe probably if you give me some dill pickle chips and not the spears, I could do 97 of those.
That's good. That's a good maybe Fat Boy Tuesday. What can you eat 97 of? Like the biggest portion, like 97
M&Ms?
Potato chips is no big deal, but
M&Ms, Skittles,
no big deal. No big deal. No, like Reese peanut butter cups. Yeah, that's a big deal.
What if it's the mini cups though?
Still a big deal. If you eat 97 of those, absolutely, that's a feat.
I'd be in a diabetic shock then. Jesus. All right, we got off topic. All right, so I'm not watching the Guards. I don't know what's going on, but I am watching the Cavs. The Cavs are losing tonight to the Brooklyn Nets. They're down 63-50 at halftime right now, but Bri, they're on a 14-game winning streak. They are gaining national momentum like you would not believe. Even Chuck, our big boy, Chuck on TNT, Charles Barkley, is like, you guys are sleeping on the Cavs right now. I even brought it up to Justin. Dare I say a Cleveland Cavs, LA Lakers, NBA Finals? I mean, Brian, how are you feeling about the Cavs right now?
Taking care of business. They keep doing, they don't get enough credit for what they're doing, from me included. I'm usually the guy like, yeah, they're doing great, but how do they stack up in the playoffs against Boston? Like, it's time to stop. We got maybe a month,
54.
month and a half of regular season left. Let's just enjoy it. They got a chance for
54-10,
15-game win streak.
We got 18 games left.
So I think tonight would be a 15-game win streak. They've already had one 15-game win streak. I don't know if it's ever been done in the history of the league. 2 15-game win streaks.
It's 3 10-plus win streaks.
Mm-hmm.
And that's never been done in the NBA. Also, right now, they're the highest efficiency offense in NBA history, right? Yeah. NBA history. And what I told you, and I told you the other night, like, you had the days that Donovan turned it on against Boston, scored 41 points, right? He turned on the switch. He took over as the superstar, right? But, Bri, past couple nights, he hasn't had good shooting nights. Neither has Darius. Neither has Mobley. But then you have Ty Jerome, DeAndre Hunter, Max Strus, Jarrett Allen. You have all these other guys contributing, and it is – I know we don't do a lot of bench in the NBA playoffs, Bri, but the great thing is about this bench is it goes so deep. It really does. It goes 9 deep, bud. Like, I mean, you could do your – Christ, Tristan Thompson got playing time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got a solid bench. You got a Okoro, you got DeAndre Hunter, you got Ty Jerome, you got Craig Porter that can come in and give you some minutes. I'm just loving the way this team is actually playing as a team, Bri, because it seems like they're having fun together and they're truly playing as a team. and they're all set on one goal right now. And everybody else's noise that's going in the background, they don't care. They have one goal in mind. First goal, get to number 1 seed. Second goal, make it to the NBA championship. And that's what they're wanting to do.
It just pissing me off a little bit. You talked about how they're an all-time great offense. Could you imagine if the Lakers or the Warriors had the type of success the Cavs had? You would hear about it 3 times every hour on SportsCenter.
Hold on. Boston. It's all about Boston, Philly, Milwaukee.
Oh, Golden
even
State's
Orlando.
Still
a little bit of
Orlando.
Orlando.
Like the 6th seed.
Yeah. Orlando. Like, oh, look at Orlando. Like, I don't care. Like, the national media, they did flex the Milwaukee game out. And we played Sunday night with Milwaukee, which was, hey, when do we get Sunday night prime time as Cleveland Cavs? And it's without LeBron. Without LeBron, we get prime time.
Shout out to my brother. Went up to Milwaukee. Got us a win.
Was he at the game?
You better bring home a W. And they took care of business.
That a boy. They said there was a lot of Cavs fans in that building, though.
Sure, I bet.
So, Bri, championship. Still got to get NBA championship or Eastern Conference championship?
Yeah, I told you. My view's not going to change throughout the regular season. We're still number 2 in the East. You got to prove me. It's impressive what they're doing. Don't get me wrong, but when they play that one team on the East Coast, it's different. And I don't know if I think maybe once we played them when they were completely healthy, like this past time. When we had our tremendous comeback, they were missing a guy or two.
They were missing Porzingis.
Porzingis was out, and maybe Drew Holiday also. Like 2 of their starters were out, so it was an impressive comeback. Don't get me wrong.
You're up 25-3. I don't give a shit if anybody was out. You're up 25-3. That should coast. And then they just came back and whooped you. They came back and whooped you. I don't give a shit who played or who didn't. When you have a 22-point lead in the first quarter and you pretty much cut the throat of them and you still end up losing that game, I bet you Boston's kicking their ass right now because they lost that game.
Pretty sweet.
All right, Bri, I know you got a sick one. Let's quickly go through Fat Boy Tuesday and our top 3, and then we will close out the show. Here we go.
And now, it's time for Fat Boy Tuesday.
God, I love that sounder, Bri. I saw you nodding your head, too. Bri, it is Fat Boy Tuesday, and because we got Kenny, Baby Hands Pickett, we are talking tiny foods tonight, Bri. We are getting into hors d'oeuvres, finger foods, appetizers, all the fun stuff, Bri. We got brought up mini quiches. We got mini corn dogs. So, Bri, give me some of your favorite little finger foods, buddy.
I'm writing them down as quickly as I can think about them.
Oh, you want me to go first?
No, I'll get some heavy hitters out of the way here. I wasn't even thinking of dips.
I didn't even think about dips either.
Things put on your plate, sliders, definitely go to, and we can go more in depth into that. But sliders, meatballs, the barbecue meatballs. I got pigs in a blanket.
Oh,
I got little smokies. And hanky pankies, a little rye bread with the sausage and cheese on it.
Can't go wrong with that. Also got to throw in the baby carrots. Can't go wrong with baby carrots on a little ranch. Hey, we're talking baby foods now with Baby Hands. We're going baby carrot, Cody Kessler. We're going Bri, also you can throw in any pretzels and dip, especially that kind of stuff. Another one for me is, I don't know if you've ever had it. My sister makes it every now and then. My aunt used to make it all the time. It is the fat dill pickle, and it is wrapped with the cream cheese and the dry beef. Kind of cut it up, and a nice little appetizer with that. Geez, Bri, quiches, little mini quiches. There's so many. I like. God, I love it. Boneless chicken wings can throw in there as finger foods.
Absolutely.
God, but man, mini corn dogs kind of hit it for me. I love mini corn. Oh, there it is. Forgot one. Pizza bagels.
Okay.
Mini pizza bagels, Bri.
Sure.
Those little devils are amazing. Still cannot believe that we got Kenny Pickett. Jesus, I'm still on that kick.
Pepperoni bread.
I didn't even think about
pepperoni bread's one of my favorites.
Completely forgot about pepperoni bread. Even the jalapeno cheese poppers, jalapeno poppers.
Oh yeah.
Cannot forget about those. Oh God, those are delicious. Now, are you a cream cheese or cheddar cheese jalapeno popper guy?
I think traditionally it's cream cheese, but I wouldn't turn down a cheddar cheese.
Now, are you a fan of the Bronco berry sauce from Arby's?
Oh, I would dip pretty much anything in the Bronco berry sauce. I haven't had, oh gosh, now you're taking me, I haven't had that in years. I remember the first time I had it, I'm like, what the heck is this delicious? Why haven't I been introduced to this years ago? They still have it?
Yes. Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Yeah, they still have it. Justin, a large pizza. Okay, hold on. We're doing finger foods, Justin. He did large pizza, lasagna, and carrot cake. We're talking about finger foods, buddy.
Sure, you cut them in small enough pieces. Why not?
Let's see here. You got oysters. I believe that's a finger food. Shrimp. Oh, shrimp cocktail. Got to have shrimp cocktail.
Okay.
You're not a fan of shrimp cocktail, are you?
Oh, no, I'm not. I meant to write down the water chestnuts wrapped in bacon.
Yep, got those.
So
those
good.
are delicious too. Oh my God.
A little glaze on them.
Burn ends. There's one. Burn ends.
I don't know if I've ever had it like as a finger food.
What, you never had
But
burn ends?
I love it.
Justin
But
said
you just get it like a little toothpick and stab at it?
Yeah, well, I've either that or I've done like poor man's burn ends. Have you ever done that with like a roast?
The hot dogs?
Not a hot dog. So you take a roast instead of doing like a traditional burn end. You just kind of chop up a roast and do it that way. A little bit cheaper version.
Okay.
Oh, another one. They've done it with bologna too. Burn ends with bologna.
Mm-hmm.
They take a whole thing of bologna. That looks delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Bri, I mean, are we going to do veggie tray would be a little finger food.
Come on. Go ahead.
Bri, what's your favorite slider? We're talking finger foods. What's your favorite slider?
Gosh. I'd probably say like a sloppy Joe.
You're going to go sloppy Joe slider. Okay. I figured you'd go pulled pork slider.
Pulled pork is up there. Pulled pork's top 3. Sloppy Joe, buffalo chicken slider, all of them really good.
You know my top one to give you might throw a little people off. You know how you get the Hawaiian bun sliders? You know, the little guys. We do Black Forest ham and Swiss cheese.
Oh yeah,
hot ham and cheese slider, dude. Oh,
put like the butter on top and the little black sesame seeds or whatever they are.
And just go to town on those little guys. Justin said black bean burger. So we found out Justin is technically sort of vegan. He's on a diet for his MS, and he sent me his pretty much what he eats. I feel bad for the man, Bri. I don't know how he does it. I really don't. If I did it, I don't think I could do it. I don't think I'm man enough to do it. Like, you can't have eggs. You can have egg whites, but you can't have egg yolks. You can't have anything chocolate because of the cocoa powder. Like, I don't know if I could do it, Bri. We might do. Hey, we might do next week. We might do diets that you can or cannot do for Fat Boy Tuesday. Diet fads. You want to do it?
Sure, I'm up for that.
All right. Well, let's get into our top 3 finger foods because it's going to be a fun one for that, and then we'll close out the show. All right, for top three tonight, we're going to do Bow Before My Baldness. I love you, Justin. Just because you could do it. I can't do it. Can't do it. We're going to do our top three finger foods, Bri. Do you want to go first? You want me to take the reins on this one right out of the gate?
Yeah, let me go and get it out of the way. I got number 3, water chestnuts that I brought up with bacon and the glaze on it.
Mm-hmm.
My wife's family does them, and I'm telling you, they go faster than anything. Like, you can't even put them on the table. She takes the tray and she walks them around to each table, and like you're allowed a limit of 2. And then if you make it the second trip, then you feel like you won the lottery. So the water chestnuts, number 3. 2, I'm going the hanky pankies. My cousin makes them at Thanksgiving time. I eat at least 6 or 7 of them. And just piles the sausage on it. And then number 1, it's been a staple probably my whole life. Is, I don't know, maybe a little different from a mini corn dog that you're talking about, the pig in the blanket. I mean,
Croissant. Mm-hmm.
classic. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah. All right. So for number 3, we do our hanky pankies a little different here in our house. We do the hanky pankies, but number 3 is hanky panky for me, except my wife puts them in those phyllo cups, the little pastry cups.
Okay.
And then that's how she does hers. So same thing. Delicious.
Nice.
Delicious. Bright, number 2. All right. Now, this might sound a little weird because you don't get them that often at certain parties. Bride, do you remember the little sweet baby jerkin pickles that are only like this big? They'll
yes.
put them in with a veg. That is one of my go-tos. I love those little devil bastards so much. Those are like one of my favorite finger foods ever, those little things. I love them. I don't know why. But I'm a pickle fan. But every time I see those, because I don't get them that often when I'm at the store, but I always see them at a party. Somebody has them out at a party. Always have those. And Brian, number 1 for me, and it will be pretty solid number 1. Anytime you can get it, either pulled pork sliders or shredded chicken sliders. Because we do shredded chicken sandwiches a lot in our house. So either pulled pork or shredded chicken. It's like the best little pickup food. You get a little sandwich in you, top you off a little bit, and you can't mess it up. I don't think you can really mess up a pulled pork or a shredded chicken slider. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing I don't think you can mess up, because if you did something horribly wrong, Brian. Horribly wrong. All right, let's go to our trivia, which is brought to you by City Dogs Cleveland. Brian, you asked me who has the most touchdowns since 2000, and it's a non-quarterback. Is it a wide receiver?
No.
Is it Adrian Peterson?
He is number 3 on the list.
Oh, damn you. All right. Rob Gronkowski.
Nope, not tight end. No tight ends on the list.
Okay. No tight ends. So it's a running back then. It's number 1. No, Emmitt Smith was gone by then. Justin put LT. LaDainian Tomlinson?
Bingo.
No shit. Really?
Done. Not even close. 162 touchdowns. Number 2, Randy Moss, 128.
I was going to pick Randy Moss next because I know he had one hell of a year with New England.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how many of those were rushing touchdowns and how many of those were passing touchdowns? Do we know?
Unclear. No, I don't know
Okay.
that. But I do have, can you name, there's 3 active players and they're 8th, 9th, and 10th. Can you name any one of them?
3 active players. I would probably have to go with Hopkins.
Nope.
Hopkins is not one. Are they all wide receivers?
Nope. 1 running back, two wide receivers.
One. Good God. Miles Sanders.
Who the hell is Miles Sanders?
He's a running back that just got released. That was the first name that came to mind. Not Zeke. Oh, there. Yep. Derrick Henry.
Yep, number 8,
Okay.
the running back.
And 2 wide receivers. Is Mike Evans on there?
Yep, there you go. I was going to tell you. Yeah, you're going to be kicking yourself if you don't get Henry and Mike Evans.
And then after Mike Evans, it's another wide receiver, Cooper Kupp.
No, but there's implications this week with Cooper Kupp and this wide receiver.
That doesn't help me any. I don't pay attention to that.
Well,
All right, give me the
who
last
does
one.
Cooper Kupp play for?
Chargers or Rams.
Okay. So this guy has to do with the Rams also.
It's not Puka Nakua.
Nope. This week.
But seriously,
Aaron Rodgers, buddy.
Isn't it? No, it's not Hopkins. Oh shit! I know who you're talking about now, and I can't. Why is his name drawing a blank right now? Son of a
Devontae Adams.
Adams. Yeah, damn it. Why was I
Just
drawing?
signed with the Rams.
Okay, nice. All right, hey, what hell of a trivia, buddy. I got it back next week. We want to thank our troops and first responders. Justice said Garrett. We want to thank our troops and first responders for everything you guys do. Cannot do the show without you. Also, City Dogs, Cleveland, and Hero Keel and Lake Erie APA. Brian, we're at the show. God bless them.
Yep. God bless you. God bless America.
And we'll see you guys next Tuesday. We're definitely uncorked, unload. We're out. See you.